A chat with Glendora, a show for living right. A chat with Glendora makes your day so bright. Words of inspiration, jokes to make you smile. Come relax and chat with Glendora for a while.
Good for you, Wayne Collins.
A chat with Glendora, a show for living right. A chat with Glendora makes your day so bright. Words of inspiration, jokes to make you smile. Come relax and chat with Glendora for a while.
Hey folks, how are you? Yes, indeed it is a chat with Glendora. And we have to be out of this in 28 minutes and 30 seconds. A TV constriction. And rejoice evermore. Rejoice evermore. Pray without ceasing. In all things, give thanks, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you. Now let's translate that into a chat with Glendora language. Remember, we go on the premise that God, Christ, and helping others are synonymous. They're interchangeable. So let's go through that again. Rejoice evermore. Pray without ceasing. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of helping others. In helping others. Concerning you. This is what concerns you. This is what concerns you. Now that comes from 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 6, 7, and 8. Now you know what to do with your day and every day. Rejoice evermore, pray without ceasing, in everything give thanks, for this is the will of helping others, in helping others, concerning you. This is simplified Christianity, or simplified Buddhism, or simplified whatever religion. God, religion, and helping others are the same. Now I went to a funeral yesterday of a woman who lived that way. Diane Schott, S-C-H-O-T-T, a Dutch name. I never saw Diane refuse to stop what she was doing to help somebody who came across her path. And did you ever have evidence of that yesterday? From 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, I watched approximately 200 people line up to look at her in her very elaborate casket and to shake the hands of her husband, her adopted son, and her adopted daughter. 200 people. And I have to leave at noon. And they were still coming. These are the lives that she touched, some of them. Because why? Rejoiced evermore, prayed without ceasing, and in everything gave thanks, did the will of God in Christ Jesus, and she did what God said was concerning her. Let's you and I do that. Will you help me do it? Can I help you do it? 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, 6, 7, and 8. A chat with Glendora. It's trying to do that. It's not telling you anything you don't know, honey. You know this. You know it. It's just telling you to do it. Go to your sanctuary and make that contact and touch. Now our hymn today, this really tells the story. Listen to this, folks. I love to tell the story of unseen things above, of Jesus and His glory, of Jesus and His love. I love to tell the story because I know it's true. It satisfies my longing as nothing else can do. I love to tell the story. 'Twill be my theme and glory. The old, 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 old story of Jesus and His love. Remember? Chat with Glendora, Simplified Christianity, God, Jesus, and helping others are synonymous, interchangeable. Go back and look at it. I love to tell the story of unseen things above. I love to tell the story of helping others. Of unseen things above. Of Jesus and His glory. Of helping others and its glory. I love to tell the story of unseen things above, of Jesus and His glory, of helping others and its love. I love to tell the story because I know that happiness comes only from helping others. I love to tell the story, 'twill be my theme in glory. What is your theme in glory? No self, no ego, no selfishness. Get out there and help others. The old, 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 old story of Jesus and His love, of helping others and His love. How we doing? How we doing, clock? You're a good clock. You're a good companion. Time moves only in one direction. Have you noticed? We'll never see this minute again. So we will make the most of it. Jokes. Jokes. A man drove home from work. He brings his car into the driveway and he sees his little 5-year-old daughter standing there and she looks distressed. And he says, "What's the matter, honey?" And she said, "I have had nothing but trouble with your wife all day long." Okay. The light is so bright I can't see it. Wait a second. No, that's too bad. It's a good joke, and I don't want you to lose it. Well, the lawyer says, it gives me a grand and glorious feeling to dispense legal advice. And a client said, that's right, you give him a grand and he feels glorious. Two cars collided. A third car pulled up. And a man got out of the third car, folks, and he said, I'm a lawyer. I saw the whole thing happen. I'll take either side. A couple had twin girls, and they identical twin girls, and they named them Kate and Duplicate. If you cannot get a judge who knows the law, if you cannot get a lawyer who knows the law, then for heaven's sakes get a lawyer who knows the judge. The ideal contract for a lawyer is what? Words too big to pronounce and print too small to read. Okay, I think we're doing pretty well with the reading of the writing in this light. The lawyer says, I want a new trial on the basis of new evidence. And the judge says, well, what's the new evidence? And the lawyer says, I just found out my client has another $10,000. The lawyer said to the new client, okay, I will take your case on a retainer basis. That's $3,000 and it entitles you to 2 questions. The client says, $3,000, 2 questions? Isn't that expensive? The lawyer said, well, perhaps. What's your second question? Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Said the lawyer, the bricks in the wall were loose. We've got a great case. We'll sue Mother Goose. And you know in law school what they teach the law students? If you know the law, you hammer the law. If you know the facts, you hammer the facts. If you don't know either, you hammer the table. I love to tell the story of unseen things above. How can a lawyer write a 50-page paper and call it a brief? Somebody asked a young man, how much money do you have in the bank? Guess what his answer was, folks? I don't know. I haven't shaken it lately. Do you know, folks, that the left side of the brain controls the right side of the body? The right side of the brain controls the left side of the body. Therefore, only those people who are left-handed are in their right minds. Glendora, a cheerful look at life. What's next? Words. Why are words so important, folks? Well, superficially they're important because you go on using tired, old, worn-out words that don't have any meaning or don't have any zip to them or zap to them anymore. Well, you better find a better word than that, Glendora. That don't have any clarity or sharing anymore. So our words today are from the Glendora collection of 246 words. And this is number 106. And it's acuity, keenness, sharpness. Now there's lots of tired words used for that expression. But what you need is acuity, keenness, sharpness. And after acuity comes aculeate. Aculeate means having a sting, beset with prickles, stinging. For instance, that was an aculeate wind. Doesn't that describe that wind very well? I wonder if you could say that was an aculeate remark, having prickles, stinging. Word 106, 107, 108 is acumen. Now I know you know what acumen means, but have you considered this definition? Acuteness, but keenness in practical and intellectual matters. Sometimes these words that you and I discuss are much more stimulating when you read their definitions and use their definitions instead of the word. Keenness in practical and intellectual matters, and acuteness. Next word is acuminate. It means tapering to a sharp point. Tapering to a sharp point, such as the leaf of a pine tree. Acuminate. A-C-U-M-I-N-A-T-E. And the last word for today is acute. Yes, you know what that means. It means perceiving. It means perspicacious. It means opposite to dull, stupid, obtuse. Acute, opposite to dull, stupid, obtuse. It means shrewd. Shrewd. Perceptive, perspicacious, opposite to dull, stupid, obtuse, and shrewd. Nice words. And you will be all those things when you are helping others all the time. Well, let me play you a DVD. Hi folks, you've heard of the TV show 60 Minutes? Well, the name of this show is 30 Seconds. The next time you go to the supermarket, will you bypass the meat counter and go to the frozen food cases and load up your grocery cart with veggie meats? Hamburger, chicken, turkey, ham. 89 years old, no doctors, no medicine, and my cat is vegan too. Hi folks, you've heard of the TV show 60 Minutes? Well, the name of this show is 30 Seconds. The next time you go to the supermarket, will you bypass the meat counter and go to the frozen food cases and load up your grocery cart with veggie meats, hamburger, chicken, turkey, ham. 89 years old, no doctors, no medicine, and my cat is vegan too. Hi folks, you've heard of the TV show 60 Minutes? Well, the name of this show is 30 Seconds. The next time you go to the supermarket, will you bypass the meat counter and go to the frozen food cases and load up your grocery cart with veggie meats, hamburger, chicken, turkey, ham. 89 years old, no doctors, no medicine, and my cat is vegan too. And she just received in the, either by UPS or FedEx or whatever, or good old US Postal Office, she received another big box, this big, of vegan cat food, vegan kibble. I get it from out in Wisconsin, Vegan Essentials, something like that. I think it's made in Italy and it's sent to Wisconsin and then it's sent to me in New York. And how much was it? It was about $50. Well now, I told you about Diane Chott and the people that she touched in her life who came to see her for the last time. She treated others right. Now, did you hear the big news? 89 years old? No, 90 years old. When? May 1st, 2, 3, 4 days ago. .com is 98 years old, because she's 14 years old times 7. The owners of the property gave me the little 6 by 6 foot by 6 foot shed. It's a cute little thing. It's wonderful for storage and it's dry and it's nice and it's clean and it's uninhabited, if you know what I mean. But they want it off. They said they were going to tear it down. So I asked if I could have it. I didn't quite ask. I assumed I could have it if they're going to tear it down. And I said, how long do I have? And they said 2 months. So I was looking around for property to put it on and somebody who could move it. And last week, the 2 months has changed to 2 weeks. May 15th. So I'm going to ask Sue, who is the successor trustee of the Glendora Franklin Museum, and who is also the power of attorney for Glendora, to ask my neighbor next door, Sabrina and Eric, if they will let me put the shed behind their great big maroon barn, which is a mess anyhow, and a woodshed bag. It's a mess anyhow, so it wouldn't spoil any looks. Might improve it, might enhance it. And ask Autovec, instead of tearing it down, could you just move it 30 feet over the property line? We are juxtaposed. What do you think? I'll ask Sue Casey to do that for me today. Now, how much pay? Well, you don't have to give them anything, but I would like to. I think I could make it attractive by, if you will do it, I will pay you $210 cash for June 1st to December 31st this year. You think they'll go for it? You know, on my telephone and probably on your telephone, you can find an app, APP, that will wipe your screen, all of the things that you don't want left on your screen, things that aren't that important, and it will sweep it clean. You press it and a little broom comes down and it sweeps it clean, and it's very good for storage. It gives you so much more storage. I want one of those for our minds. I want an app that we can say, sweep it clean and get rid of all of those bad memories, right? And those useless memories and second class and third class, negative, let's see, pure thoughts, no negative, second level, trivial, ugly. Get rid of all of those with a little app. Wouldn't that be good? Okay. Middletown, New York. Called me with the greatest news. That's Jack George, is the public access coordinator in Middletown, New York, Orange County, right across the Hudson River from Westchester, right across the Tappan Zee Bridge. And he said that I no longer have to send him any programs on DVD or by file transfer protocol. File transfer protocol, FTP. Why? Because the FileZilla in Rochester has made it possible for Jack George Middletown to go up to the site and just take it right off of the site to Middletown, just the way they've been doing with Jamestown, with Buffalo, with Binghamton, and with Albany. Isn't that wonderful? Now, how many DVD discs does that say? They also take 2-hour shows. They have, Middletown does, and Binghamton does. So there would be 4 shows, 2 hours each, that's 16 shows, and 4 more shows, that's 20. And it would be about 6 times, why my goodness folks, that's almost 36 half-hour DVDs that I don't have to dump. And you don't have to pay DVDs for them, and you don't have to pay post office for them. Oh, I love the post office. It's not a good deal for my beloved post office. And I was told that the words were sent forth, take good care of Glendora. Oh, well, I've always taken good care of Glendora. Take good care of Glendora. And I think I know from whence that came. And another one said, this is the case that Glendora brought to court, and I'm not going to tangle with Glendora. Very interesting. I know where that one came from. Okay. See, I think what has happened is with age, these pupils have lost their grip. They can't hold it small and keep a lot of light out. So since it leaks light, all this light comes in and it's a glare to me, and that's why I can't see it. Alrighty. That's care and share, and I'm sorry, there are things there that I think would help you to know. I want to hear your care and share. Will you call me, please, and tell me all the good things that have happened to you? And nothing but good things will happen to you when you put helping others first and only. Nothing but good things will happen to you. I have personal knowledge of that. That is happiness. Let's play you the jokes from the North Chatham Methodist Church last week.
I have a special script to read here, some notes that was given to me by our next performer, who has the longest running public access TV show in the world for 46 years on 69 TV stations, Boston to San Diego. Wait a minute, this is the hardest part. 4,900 TV shows? Yes, I think so. 4,900 TV shows. Well, I don't even have to say her name. So obviously, Glendora, she got here early today. And she's been sitting there and she's melted a little bit. But anyway, Glendora.
How are you tonight, folks? Good, how are you? Good, nice. Can you hear? Can you hear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, folks, this Methodist minister and his wife came home from church during Christmas service. There were about quite a few services during Christmas. She flopped down on the chair, and she said, "I'm exhausted." And he says, "You're exhausted." I had to write 5 sermons and deliver 5 sermons, and she said I had to listen to them. And I called up a friend, folks, to help me with the correspondence, and he says, "I can't come, there's a death in the family." And I said, "Who died?" And he said, "The computer." The teacher said, "Draw a picture of the nativity scene." And the little girl brought up her picture, and the teacher said, "Oh, this is great. Oh, there's Jesus, there's Joseph, there's Mary. What's this little stand with a box in the corner?" "That's their computer." The minister gave the congregation an assignment. He says, "When you come to church next Sunday during the week, I want you all to read chapter 7 of the book of Mark. And I'll ask you if you did it." So the next Sunday, the minister said, "How many of you read chapter 17 of the book of Mark?" And all the hands went up. Interesting, he said. There's only 16 chapters. This camping party was hopelessly lost in the northern woods of Maine, and they wandered around for hours. Finally, one of them got up enough courage to say, "You told us you were the best guide in the state of Maine." And he said, I am, but right now I think we're in Canada. I don't have an opposable thumb. The little boy was late for school, folks, and he was running, the little boy was late for school, and he was running as fast as he could, and he goes under, takes a shortcut, he goes under the barbed wire fence caught his pants, made a tear. He runs into the classroom, and the teacher says, "I see you're a little behind this morning." He said, "It was a barbed wire fence." Why did the bunny rabbit ask to be changed into a goon within the next 24 hours? Hair today and goon tomorrow? The little old man and the little old lady, folks, were called into summons court because she stole a can of peaches. And the judge says, "Well, how many peaches in the can?" She said, 3. He said, "You are hereby summoned to 3 days in jail, 1 day for each peach." And the little old man says, "Well, can I say something?" The judge says, "Be brave." The little old man said, "She also stole a can of peas." At the bridge table, one woman said, "When I'm down in the dumps, I buy clothes." And the woman at the next table said, "I was wondering where she got them." Somebody asked a dog, "Are you bilingual?" And the dog said, woof, meow. Oh, that's my grocery list. But it's funny. I did a spot on WRGV Channel 6 a couple weeks ago on the 5 p.m. news. And I'll do the spot for you as a half a minute. I had on this suit, and we started with a picture of nothing but the head. And then, hi folks, you've heard of the TV show 60 Minutes? Well, the name of this TV show is 30 Seconds. The next time you go to the supermarket, will you bypass a meat counter and go to the frozen food cases and load up your grocery cart with veggie meat? Hamburger, chicken, turkey, ham. 89 years old, no doctors, no medicine, and my cat is vegan too. Another thing I'd like to mention to you folks. Do you agree that when all is said and done, the only thing that really mattered is how you treated others? Do you agree? A picketer was carrying a sign that said, "Time heals all wounds." And the picketer behind him said, a sign that said, "Time and a half heals them faster." An earthquake was reported to be on its way in California. So this couple sent their young son deep into the interior where he would be safe with an uncle. In 2 days they got an email that said, "Returning the boy, send the earthquake." Now, this man was a fan of the great composer, Ludwig van Beethoven, and he went to the composer's grave, and he's standing there, folks, and here are all these Beethoven symphonies coming out of the ground. But they are being played in reverse. They're being played backwards. And they're being played in the reverse order in which they were written. Beethoven's 9th, Beethoven's 8th, 7th, 6th, way down to the 1st. And he says, "I don't get it." To the grave digger. He said to the grave digger, "I don't get it. I'm trying to hear these Beethoven symphonies. They're being played backwards. They're being played in reverse order in which they were written." And the grave digger said, "Don't you get it? He's decomposing." A little boy and his sister are in the living room watching a video on the birth of Christ. The little boy says, "What is a virgin?" And his older sister said, "A virgin is a woman who eats all of her vegetables." "Daddy, what causes rain?" "Daddy, cold fronts, low pressure areas in the first day of your vacation." The bank robber said to the bank teller, "One peep out of you and your geography." And she said, "Don't you mean history?" He said, "Don't change the subject." The sign in the restaurant window said, "Blended coffee," and a customer said, "What is it a blend of?" And the waitress said, "Yesterday's and today's." The minister gave a stirring sermon, and he says, "I'm going to take all the beer in this town and put it in the river." And put it in the river, and the next hymn was, "We'll all gather in the river." A little girl was noisy in church, and her mother whispered something into her ear. And the little girl calmed right down, right to the end of the service. And afterwards, the mother was asked, "What did you whisper in her ear?" Mother said, "I told her, if you make a noise, the minister's going to lose his place and start the sermon all over again." This man, folks, was very close to dying. a batch of cookies. He leaned over and took one, and she said, "Don't eat those, I ate them for the funeral." And the teacher said, "Johnny, I think you cheated on the test. I think you copied the answers of the little girl across the aisle. The first question was, who was the first president of the United States? She wrote Washington, and you wrote Washington. And the second question was, who was president during the Civil War? She wrote Lincoln, and you wrote Lincoln. And the last question was, who was president during the Louisiana Purchase? She wrote, I don't know, and you wrote me either."
So now we're going to hear from Carol Anderson, the organ.
It's so much fun to hear the people laugh and enjoy themselves. They laugh, you know they're happy. Okay, Phillycam, the ball is in your court. You have the application, you have all of the information. You have a Philadelphia resident who is enthusiastically sponsoring a chat with Glendora in the city of brotherly love. So now, let's just send us your instructions how to do an FTP, how to load the program on computer to your server. And let's cablecast it and let's get this message to the people in Philadelphia. You tell me, what is the message? The message is happiness. It always has been. But the message goes further and tells you how. The only way to happiness is helping others. No ego, no selfishness. Helping others. Don't let anything in your life be any more important than helping others. God, Christ, or your religion, and helping others are all the same. Let's get that message on in Philadelphia. My sponsor is Dr. Gordon Vermont, who is a PhD from Harvard. You can't go higher than that. You can't tell a man from Harvard much. No, you can always tell a man from Harvard, but you can't tell him much. And he is a lecturer in the Department of Psychology in the University of Pennsylvania, which you know is one of our most prestigious private colleges. It's in Philadelphia. Now, DCTV, public access in the District of Columbia, has done a phenomenal job of teaching us how to send our program to them, not by DVD, but by FTP, File Transfer Protocol, by the computer. They've done an excellent job. They've been cheerful and pleasant and sufficient and acute. Acumen. Now it went to programming, and programming said a lot of things that they shouldn't have said. But one of them was that Glendora had to have a announcement at the end of the program, credits, who made the program. Well, the problem there is that nobody but Glendora makes the program. And nobody but Glendora is responsible for the mess that this show is. But then I began to think about it. Going to our raison d'etre, that the only thing in life is helping others, and I began to think about it. How we're all one, and how we're all together, the wholeness and the oneness and the allness of the universe, and we're not separate, we're all together, working together. Then I thought, well, the whole universe gets a credit. Everything and everybody in the universe gets a credit. It wouldn't exist without them. It's It's not 2, 3 people. It's millions. And so I articulated that on a slide at the end of the program. See what you think of it. Can you read it, folks? Now, I don't know why, when they're so shrewd and keen and smart about their production of public access TV show, why they are so obtuse about the law. You don't fool around with federal law, and it's also state law, in their case, a District of Columbia law, and state law and municipal law. You cannot tell a public access producer what to say on his or her program. That is forbidden editorial control. There is no editorial control over public access TV, except in 3 instances that really don't apply here. Obscenity and nudity and indecency. Not the issue. Now, they've been sued. I've sued them before for violating public access law, federal, state, and municipal. And what they're doing is actionable. A person is really motivated to go to a court of justice and to demand right. The courts aren't that good, but anyway, it bothers people to be sued, and it costs them a lot of money to defend. So I don't know why they touch upon that when that's so explosive. Okay. We open with rejoice evermore, pray without ceasing, in everything give thanks, for this is the will of God, the will of helping others, in Christ Jesus, in helping others, concerning you. Grace and peace unto you. From God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ.